Nearly 3 decades after the events that terrified an entire generation, I Know What You Did Last Summer returns. But this time, the stakes are higher, the past is darker, and the hook is sharper than ever. Set to hit theaters on July 18th, this new chapter in the legendary slasher franchise is not a reboot or a remake. It's a direct sequel to I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, and it picks up the pieces left behind after the blood-soaked summers of the late 90s. Directed by Jennifer Kaytin Robinson, the film aims to honor the original while introducing a new generation to the horrors that come with secrets you can't bury. Again, the story follows 5 friends whose lives are changed forever after a tragic car accident on a fateful night. Fearing the consequences, they make a pact to keep it quiet. But someone knows what they did, and now, a year later, that someone is back with a message and a motive. As the group is hunted one by one, desperation leads them to the only people who've survived this nightmare before: Julie James and Ray Bronson. But Julie James isn't the same woman she once was. She's older, wiser, and stronger. And when she's pulled back into the terror she tried so hard to escape, she realizes the nightmare never really ended. With Ray at her side, they'll face the past and a killer who's more brutal and relentless than ever before. Filming began in October 2024 across Sydney, New South Wales, Australia. From the tranquil shores of Watsons Bay to the streets of Paddington, each location was carefully chosen to blend beauty with tension. Breakfast Point served as the new setting for the Southport Community Centre, grounding the story in a place that feels unsettling. Indoor scenes were filmed at Disney Studios in Moore Park, bringing high-end production to the franchise's chilling roots. In early 2025, the cast and crew traveled to Los Angeles, where additional scenes were shot at the University of California, Los Angeles. The contrast between Australia's coastal calm and LA's urban energy adds a fresh dynamic to the story's pace and tone. Production wrapped in March 2025, after months of careful work to honor the original while evolving the horror for a modern audience. The thing that really sets this movie apart? It's got some original stars returning alongside a fresh batch of talent. Freddie Prinze Jr. is back as Ray Bronson, the role that kicked off his Hollywood career. He played the scruffy fisherman-turned-survivor in the original 1997 movie and its sequel. Freddie says Ray is still haunted by everything that happened, and that weight is going to show in this new chapter. Jennifer Hewitt is also returning as Julie James, one of horror's original scream queens. She confirmed her return on Instagram with the caption, "Julie James is returning. I know what you will be doing next summer." Joining the new cast is a solid group of new talent. Madeline Klein, aka Sarah Cameron from Outer Banks, is stepping in, and you might also recognize her from Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery. Also in the mix is Lola Tung, star of The Summer I Turned Pretty. Born and raised in NYC, she's now making the jump into horror. Nicholas Alexander Chavez is having a big moment too. He won an Emmy for General Hospital and then starred in 2 of Ryan Murphy's 2024 shows, playing Lyle Menendez in Monsters and a young priest in Grotesquerie. Austin Nichols, also known as Julian from One Tree Hill, is also part of the cast. He's popped up in The Walking Dead, The Day After Tomorrow, and will appear in the upcoming Netflix drama The 688. Making her acting debut is Gabriette Bechtel. You might know her from the punk band Nasty Cherry. Chase Sui Wonders is another familiar face, especially if you caught Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. She's also been in Generation, Betty, and Sofia Coppola's On the Rocks. Sarah Pidgeon brings some serious theater cred after a Tony-nominated turn in Stereophonic. Before that, she starred in The Wilds and Tiny Beautiful Things, both of which earned her tons of praise. Tariq Withers went from the football field at Florida State to the screen, with roles in Atlanta, Tell Me Lies, and The Game. He announced he was joining the horror reboot on Instagram, saying, "Next summer will be a movie." Jonah Hauer-King, who played Prince Eric in Disney's live-action The Little Mermaid, adds some romance and mystery to the cast. He's also starring in a new film called The Threesome with Zoe Deutsch. Rounding things out is Billy Campbell, a total pro who's been around since the Dynasty days. You might remember him from Once and Again, and he's set to appear in The Thriller Trust. With this cast bringing serious star power and talent, it's safe to say horror fans are in for one killer summer. It's been a long time since Jennifer Hewitt played Julie James, the original final girl from I Know What You Did Last Summer. "I'll be totally honest, I had crazy anxiety for like 48 hours before filming," Hewitt said. "I was like, can I still do this? Am I gonna pull it off?" It's a lot of pressure. Hewitt had nothing but praise for the new cast, saying, "They're phenomenal. It really felt like passing the baton. I got to be the proud mom on set, just cheering them on like, go do your thing, it's yours now." Even though Hewitt doesn't consider herself a huge horror fan, she was all in for the reunion with Freddie. It felt like a high school reunion. I had butterflies, my heart was racing, but once we were back as Julie and Ray, it was like no time had passed. Robinson admitted she was kind of starstruck working with them. "They're both so sweet and honestly still ridiculously hot," she said. Having them back just gave the whole set this electric energy. For Hewitt, the experience was more than just a nostalgia trip. It was something personal. As a woman in her 40s in Hollywood, you don't always get these kinds of opportunities. So for Sony and the fans to still want me back, that meant a lot. This sequel promises plenty of Easter eggs and clever references that fans of the original films will definitely catch. One of the standout moments in the trailer is when Jennifer Love Hewitt drops her classic line, "What are you waiting for?" from the very first movie. Fans have been waiting to hear that again for so long. It's a great way to connect the new story to the original. Plus, there's an awesome behind-the-scenes photo where Hewitt is holding a letter addressed to Julie, just like in the first film when she got that creepy note saying, "I know what you did last summer." But now, the letter shows she's living in Raleigh, North Carolina, instead of the small town of Southport where everything started. That tells us the story's moving to a more city-like setting, which could lead to some fresh and intense chase scenes in crowded urban spots, kind of like how Scream 6 took things to New York City. Fans of the original will definitely appreciate the shout-out to Sarah Michelle Gellar's character, Helen Shivers. Even though Helen died in the first movie, her gravestone briefly shows up in the trailer, which is a nice, quiet nod to her character. Gellar has even teased that there's another hidden reference to Helen somewhere in the film that's easy to miss if you're not paying close attention. Jennifer Kaytin Robinson has said they're treating this sequel like true fans of the franchise. She made sure it respects everything from both the original I Know What You Did Last Summer and its 1998 sequel, I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. The movie is packed with 90s vibes and twists that will surprise people. Since the original killer, Ben Willis, is dead, the new film teases a fresh villain, maybe a copycat or someone with a grudge tied to the past. That mystery adds some good suspense and keeps viewers guessing.
Oh my god. I'm calling 911.
Everyone chill out! We don't tell anybody what happened.
All in all, this I Know What You Did Last Summer sequel looks like it's going to be a perfect blend of old-school scares and fresh storylines. It's shaping up to be something both fans of the original and newcomers can get into. Thanks for watching Collider. See you next time.